The breath you take right now is both an ending and a beginning, both a release of what no longer serves you and a welcoming of what you need most. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about breathing your way to calm and simple techniques for stress relief. Enjoy. There's something profound that happens when we remember we have the power to change our entire state of being with something as simple as our breath. Right now, as you listen to these words, your breath is flowing in and out, sustaining you, calming you, connecting you to this present moment. Yet how often do we truly pay attention to this incredible gift we carry with us everywhere? By the end of this episode, you'll understand how conscious breathing can become your most reliable tool for managing stress, and you'll have practical techniques you can use anywhere, anytime, to restore your sense of calm and control. Stress has a way of hijacking our breathing. When we're overwhelmed, our breath becomes shallow, rapid, confined to the upper chest. It's as if our body forgets how to breathe deeply, how to access the natural rhythm that once soothed us as children. But here's what's beautiful about this relationship between breath and stress. It works both ways. Just as stress can disrupt our breathing, conscious breathing can interrupt stress. Think about the last time you felt truly peaceful. Perhaps you were watching a sunset, walking in nature, or simply sitting quietly. Without realizing it, your breath had likely settled into a deeper, slower rhythm. Your nervous system had downshifted from the constant hum of activity into a state of genuine rest. This isn't coincidence. This is your body's wisdom at work. The breath is our bridge between the conscious and unconscious, between what we can control and what happens automatically. When we bring awareness to our breathing, we're essentially taking the steering wheel of our nervous system. We're saying to our body, "It's okay. We can slow down. We can find our center again." One of the most powerful techniques you can learn is what's called box breathing. Imagine drawing a square with your breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold empty for 4. As you practice this, you're not just changing your breathing pattern, you're sending a clear message to your nervous system that you are safe, that you are in control, that this moment doesn't require fight or flight. But perhaps even simpler is the practice of extending your exhale. When we're stressed, our exhales become short and incomplete. By consciously making your exhale longer than your inhale, you activate what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural relaxation response. Try breathing in for 3 counts, then breathing out for 6. Feel how this simple shift begins to soften the edges of tension. There's also profound wisdom in belly breathing, returning to the way we breathed as infants. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. As you breathe, let the hand on your belly rise while the hand on your chest stays relatively still. This isn't just about technique, it's about returning home to yourself, to the natural rhythm that exists beneath all the noise and rush. What makes breathing techniques so powerful for stress control is their accessibility. You don't need special equipment, a quiet room, or even much time. You can practice conscious breathing while stuck in traffic, before a difficult conversation, or in the middle of a challenging day. Your breath is always with you, always ready to serve as your anchor. Remember that stress often comes from feeling like we're at the mercy of external circumstances. But when you can shift your breathing, you're reclaiming your power. You're proving to yourself that regardless of what's happening around you, you have tools, you have agency, you have the ability to influence your inner state. The beautiful thing about developing a relationship with your breath is that it teaches you to trust yourself. Each time you use breathing to move from stress to calm, you're building evidence that you are more resilient than you knew, more capable of self-regulation than you imagined. As you move through your day, remember that your breath is not just keeping you alive, it's offering you a pathway to peace. In a world that often feels chaotic and demanding, your conscious breathing becomes an act of self-compassion, a way of saying to yourself, "I deserve to feel calm. I deserve to feel centered. I deserve to breathe easy." That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening. If today's episode resonated with you, I've created something to help you take the next small step. I've put together a series of better habit guides designed for people who feel behind in life and want a simple, practical reset without overwhelm. You can explore all of them at 7goodminutes.com/guides. That's 7goodminutes.com/guides.